Hello, welcome back to my channel Qubit Educational Services. In this video we are going to solve question number 11 from the NEST 2020 session 2. And as you might be knowing, from question 11 to question 15 we have questions which may have more than one option, correct? So we have to look for the validity of each and every option. Let us first read the problem statement and then I'll tell you how to solve it. If the roots of the equation x cubed plus bx squared plus cx minus 1 equal to 0 are real, positive and distinct and in geometric progression, then b belongs to the open interval minus infinity to minus 3. One of the roots is 1, one of the roots is smaller than 1 and one of the roots is bigger than 1, b plus c equal to 0. Now the very first thing that you should observe here is that the coefficient of x cube, which is the largest degree term in the equation, is 1. Okay, so we can now apply the formulas we can apply the formulas which give us a relation between the roots of this equation and the coefficients. Okay, we are going to start by assuming the roots to be a by r, a and ar. This is typically what we do if we have numbers in the geometric progression and there are 3 in number. Okay, a by r, a and ar, where r is the common ratio and a is our, well, you can say that the first term here. Alright, now because the coefficient of x cubed is 1, we can say that the sum of the roots is negative b by 1. Yes, so a by r plus ar is equal to negative b, and product of roots taken 2 at a time will be c upon 1 or c, correct? So if we take the product of the roots taken 2 at a time, first will be a squared by r, product of the first 2. Then if I go to second and third, then their product will be a squared r, and if we take the first and the third, then it will be just a squared, correct? Finally, what is going to be the product of all the roots? It is minus 1 into minus 1 upon 1. Okay, we now know this. Okay, sum of the roots is minus b upon the coefficient of x cube, and the product will be negative of this divided by 1, because this is a cubic equation. Okay, so the product is a by r into a into ar, which is 1. So r gets cancelled because r can't be 0, so a cubed is 1. See, we know that this can have complex roots, but because they have said that the roots are real and a is one of the roots, we have to accept that a is equal to 1, which confirms the validity of the second option. One of the roots is 1. Okay, now see, because the roots are positive, r must be positive. So no matter what r is, if you are considering one of the roots as ar and the other one as 1 upon r, then because r is positive, one of the roots must be less than 1 and the other one must be greater than 1. Okay, so this also confirms option 3. Okay, only because both a and r are positive. Alright, so what remains to be tested is options 1 and 4. Let us first verify whether 4th is right. Alright, so to verify the validity of the 4th option, we go to the expression in that option, which is b plus c, correct? Now b is, we have already found out the value of b, it is minus of this whole expression, right? So it is a by r plus ar, the sum of the roots into negative 1, plus we already know c now, a squared by r plus a squared r plus a squared. Okay, now why is it 0? It is 0 because of the value of a that we already know. Okay, if a is equal to 1, then this expression would be negative 1 upon r, negative 1 and negative r, because we are also multiplying it by minus 1. And what will the sum of these 3 terms be? 1 upon r plus 1, right? Now you can see that we are having the terms, there are 6 of them and every term is equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. Negative 1 upon r, positive 1 upon r, minus r plus r, minus 1 plus 1. So this confirms that b plus c is 0 and therefore option 4 is also right. Now let us go to option 1. So see, they're saying that b has to be in the interval negative infinity to negative 3, or in other words, b does not belong to this interval closed at 3, okay, and consists of all numbers greater than or equal to -3. Now what we do is we first note that the sum of the roots is positive because all the roots are positive, so b cannot be greater than or equal to 0. B has to be negative because the sum of the roots is minus b upon 1, isn't it? So we have now chopped out this part from the range, and that part is interval 0 to infinity, or the set of all non-negative real numbers. So now we need to check whether b can lie between -3 and 0. That is our job. Okay, if we prove that b can't be in this interval, then option 1 will also become the right option. And to do that, we have taken the help of, or we are going to take the help of derivatives. Okay, well, first let us see what happens if b takes the value -3. If b takes the value -3, then c becomes 3 because b plus c is 0. And what do we have? We will then have x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1 equal to 0, and this is nothing but the cube of x minus 1, which means we are now having real and equal roots. This is also not the situation that we want because the roots are distinct. Therefore b can definitely not be equal to -3. Okay, so now let us go to the part where b might be between -3 and 0, both the endpoints excluded. Alright, now if b lies between -3 and 0, then first let us differentiate the given function, which is x cubed plus bx squared plus cx minus 1, and provided that c is equal to minus b because b plus c is 0. Okay, so differentiating f, we are going to get 3x squared plus 2bx minus b. Okay, now just see the discriminant here. Okay, discriminant of this particular quadratic expression, it will be 4b squared because of square of this minus 4 times 3 into minus b, or it is 4b squared plus 12b. Okay, if we take 4b common, then we are going to have 4 plus 3 in the bracket. Okay, now observe that b is negative anyways, so 4b will be negative. But what about b plus 3? Because b lies between -3 and 0, b plus 3 will lie between 0 and 3. So b plus 3 is positive, and product of any positive number and any negative number is always negative, which means the discriminant is negative, which means our quadratic expression, if converted to an equation, is going to have imaginary roots. Okay, now if the function has imaginary roots, what does it suggest? It suggests that the graph of f dash of x will never intersect the x-axis because it is having imaginary roots. So it will either be like this or like this. Okay, now from the theory of derivatives, what do we know? We know that f dash of x represents the, well, if it is positive, then the function is increasing throughout. If it is negative, then the function is decreasing throughout. Okay, now because we have coefficient of x squared to be 3 because of the derivatives, we can say that f dash of x is always positive. Correct? And because f dash of x is always positive, f of x is a strictly increasing function. Now because f of x is a strictly increasing function, if at all it intersects the x-axis, it is going to intersect the x-axis only once, and in this case it is going to intersect the x-axis at 1. But is this true? Is f of x, is f of x having only one root? No, f of x is having 3 distinct roots, which means b can also not be in this particular range. We have already ruled out this and this. Therefore b should belong to -infinity to -3 because now there is no space left for b. Okay, there are no choices on the real number line, so option 1 is also